How's it going, gang? We're back with more Dragon Ball Legends, and this time we're going to be taking a look at the new Legend, Future Gohan and Trunks, and God Shallet's abilities. I just wanted to do a breakdown since, this is the first time in a minute since Game Originals has been here, and also, I don't really usually do, like, character breakdowns or anything, but no, I just thought, why not? Let's take a look at these characters and see what we can do. Okay, so right off the bat, since they're a tag character and they're also a legend character, they actually have two superior elements, like how it's saying right here, a tag character with two superior elements. So yeah, Trunks is red, Gohan is purple. So that's actually going to be very, very useful, and also, very strong having two superior elements on your team at the same time. Well, in one character, I mean. Obviously, you can have two already, but yeah, that is going to be something to. That's going to be something definitely to keep in mind when using this character. I don't remember if they were like ranged or melee or anything, but it seems like they're ranged, judging from there's the ability here, Blast Attack and Blast Defense for Hybrid, Future, or Game Originals, and then also a little bit of extra Strike Attack for Hybrid Saiyans. Alright, as for the strikes and for the blast, so on activation, they get 20% damage on both of them, it looks like, and also right here, I remember from the details when they were going over the kit in the reveals that it's not an effect on their blast, but yeah, it says right here they have armor break as one of the cards that they have. So yeah, you're gonna be able to, if you remember Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, or I guess what other character has it? Was it Cell? Was it Ultra Cell? And then also Legend Gogeta. They also have armor break. So that's gonna be really annoying. It definitely feels like they made this character to counter Broly, and you'll see why in a minute. But yeah, just very strong blast arts actually, and then obviously the damage stacking on both of them is gonna be quite strong. To do a lot of damage in one combo. All right, blue card. So when you activate it, you get some ki back. So basically, you gain all the ki that you used back from the blue card, and then you also get special move damage. And then when special move arts is enhanced, you get even more special move damage. And then it also nullifies endurance and cancel enemy buff effects. I'm not really too sure what the scenario would be for you wanting to have cancel enemy buff effects. I think nullifying type neutral counts as a buff effect. So I guess this would actually cancel some characters' type neutral. Yeah, I think that's what it would be. So unless it's uncancelable, that's gonna get canceled, and then you're just gonna do like the full amount of damage, and then because they're superior element, yeah, they're just gonna one-shot you basically. Well, they don't have any like cut penetration here, like, or I guess that's what it used to be called. Damage guard penetration is what it should be now. Yeah, it's probably somewhere in like the actual unique abilities, but I just think it's interesting that you have to enhance it in order to actually nullify endurance. That's gonna be kind of tricky, maybe. I don't know. And then for the green card, you're getting a card and then health and a lot of ki as well. Ally subcounts -2 is actually very, very strong in my opinion. Just being able to reduce subcounts and then, obviously be able to switch into another character. So basically, you continue your combo, and then you're gonna shorten your sub counts, you're gonna be able to switch again, and then continue the combo more. Yeah. And then you're also debuffing the enemy here. You're lowering their health restoration and also their damage received. Health restoration is going to be really strong because there's a lot of characters right now that have healing based, like tanking, I guess. Yeah, tanking. And then also just, damage received up is obviously going to make them take more damage. So yeah, and then okay, here's the switch ability. So tag switch into, Gohan obviously. And then I assume that the switch ability is going to be like basically the same for both of them, because that's what they tend to do with these tag characters now, is that they usually have the same abilities, just some things are slightly changed, or either they're just like completely the same. But yeah, anyways, so you draw a card when you tag switch, and then you get some health back, some key back. You also increase overdrive gauge actually, so yeah, the more you switch, you're gonna have your overdrive gauge, and then, obviously you're gonna be able to do the overdrive rush, and then, because I think when you're in overdrive, you also like get stronger attacks and things like that. You get like some extra properties, but yeah, that's pretty good. And then obviously there it is, enhancing next special move arts, and also enhancing next legend action, which is something that I don't think we've ever seen before, actually, enhancing a legend action. So that's definitely going to be interesting. Okay, starter ability, just a whopping 360. A whopping 360 to damage. And then damage guard 310. And then some extra key recovery, draw speed, yeah. And then they just permanently have -1 sub count. Okay, so I believe, if I'm getting this right, so they're always gonna have 9 sub counts instead of the usual 10, which might not seem like a lot, but that's actually very valuable. And then especially combine that with the green card too. That's I am liking that. I do like having the ability to like lower sub counts and stuff like that. Just to switch a bunch. Okay, so the first unique ability, or do they usually? Yeah, okay. So just the unique ability, I guess, is what I should say. So when entering the battlefield, so yeah, drawing just basic draw a card, get health, get key. Basically, this is basically like their switch ability. Just they get their switch gauge up a little bit, and then. Okay, they also go type neutral for 5 counts. Okay, that's good. And then on the third, strike and blast arts use. Okay. Okay, so it's shared between them. It resets when they switch or area change. Okay. So they draw another card and then they get key back. Okay. Yeah, that should be pretty good for like, disrupt characters. Like, if you get your combo, like say Yellow Goku Black's defense gauge, like it basically takes 3 attacks to like proc it. So I guess it's probably meant for that, or any other characters that have a defense gauge, just like basically being able to negate that disrupt. Then after arts use, if key is 30 or more. So, okay. So they get switch gauge up. So basically, as long as you're above 30 key when you use a arts card, you'll get these effects. Okay, so yeah, there it is, the damage guard penetration. So you stack this up. What you do is you stack this up, damage guard penetration, and then you blue card at the end after you stack it a little bit, and then that's going to be a really hard hitting blue card. And then you also nullify cover changes. So wait, can you just like, as long as you're above 30 key, can you just have like basically infinite cover change nullification? Is that am I reading this right? Okay. And then when hit by enemy arts, They also destroy a card 2 times, seal enemy Rising Rush, and then draw speed -2, and then activations reset on switch or when unique gauge is full. Okay, so they have a unique gauge. That's interesting to note. But yeah, this does seem pretty strong. And then like all these activations reset. The draw speed -2 is actually going to be really annoying. I can already tell. And also sealing enemy Rising Rush. Like imagine you're about to kill them, you just want to rush, and then well you can't because their Rising Rush is sealed. And then if health is 8% or lower, so okay, it activates 2 times and it's shared between the two of them. They get health back. Okay, so just a little bit of extra survivability. They don't seem to have any like endurance. So this is basically like this is pretty much them having endurance without actually having endurance, if that makes sense. And then on battlefield and enemy activates. Okay, so basically like against blue cards, ults, and then Rising Rush and stuff. Yeah, lower sub count so that you can switch out, because again, they don't have any endurance, so you probably want someone else to take the hit. And then lower their arts power, and then cancel attribute upgrades and buff effects to be able to nullify endurance nullification. Basically cancel that, be able to tank the hit. And then, okay, share between them. Yeah, okay. It activates 3 times. And they have to be on the battlefield as well, so yeah, you can't just it's not just from them being on the team. You have to actually be with them for that to happen. Okay. And then cover change against blasts. So yeah, okay. And then okay, unique gauge confrontation type. Oh. Okay, so it charges every time there's an enemy character confrontation. So basically, the more your enemy switches, the more this gauge is going to charge up. So you're going to have to be... You're going to be wanting to make your opponent switch to activate this unique gauge then. You can't just like... You could also technically do it by just like, I guess, switching in a bunch and stuff like that, because it counts if you just like switch the character in. But yeah, I think the best way to charge this up is going to be by like forcing them to switch in and stuff like that. Anyways, so they get a card, they get E, they get a Dragon Ball, and it activates 2 times. So okay, so it also gets consumed when the gauge is full. So okay, that's interesting. So every time it fills up, you're gonna get a card, key. You only get Dragon Balls 2 times, and then 2 uncancelable damage buffs. Okay, they're gonna get a lot of damage, I think, from this, and then the stacking on the arts cards, and then the okay. Yeah, they're definitely going to be doing a good amount of damage. And then they're also canceling attribute downgrades. Okay, that's good, just to like, you know, have like, you know, have no debuffs and be able to keep going, stuff like that. And then also ally health restore by 15%. That's gonna be really good, actually. Okay. And then their legend action is from the low area, and it nullifies endurance just straight up. So, wow, okay. So, okay, but it's on activate. Okay, I think I see what they're going for here. You use the legend action, and then you pop a blue card because you can combo into it, and then you nullify their endurance. Because, I mean, you have to enhance the blue card in order to get the endurance nullification, but if you just legend action, you can just do it off of that, and then boom. Okay. So I guess it's going to be very important to do the legend action with them. And then when the legend action is enhanced, you get the special move guaranteed and stuff like that. Okay. I think it's gonna be... Yeah, this is gonna be one of those characters where you're really gonna want to combo everything that they can do. Like, it's gonna come down to you just stringing together all of their abilities into one. So like getting the unique gauge, switching so you could get the enhanced blue card and the legend action and stuff like that. So just, yeah, okay. And then, okay, so this is Gohan right here. Obviously, we don't need to look at these. Yeah, seems to be basically the same. Yeah, everything here looks the same. Okay, the switchability, obviously it's the Trunks. And yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything different here. Let me see. Yeah, no, it's basically the same, except I guess his cover changes against strikes instead of blast. So, okay, yeah. So that's gonna do it for Gohan and Trunks. So yeah, they seem really good. I think their whole gimmick of the legend action and then like the... Yeah, basically it seems like their main gimmick is the legend action and the confrontation gauge. Like basically you're gonna be wanting to make great use of both of them in order to do a lot of damage and get a lot of kills and stuff like that. Or not a lot of kills, but just do a lot of damage and, you know, get the blue card and secure the kill and stuff like that. Alright, and here we have Super Saiyan God Shallet. I still can't get behind that name. It should have been Gibla or something. Because, like, you know, Shallet and Shallet, they're way too similar. I don't know what they were thinking, but... Okay, yeah, they're green. I'm pretty sure they're... Oh, actually, no, they're ranged based off the Z abilities. I guess that makes sense, because Gogeta has been set up to be ranged, and then... Yeah, okay. And then he's... Okay. So he's buffing Game Originals, Fusion Warrior, or God Key, and then if you're also Game Originals, you get extra strike defense. Okay. Strike and Blast. So... Okay, on Strike, obviously he has Blast Armor, and then enemy damage received, and it's on activation too. So I think this is the best way for this ability to proc is on activation instead of on hit, because this way you get the best of both worlds, where you debuff them for them to get the damage received. And you also, you know, you get to hit them while debuffed, and then you also obviously stack it up and stuff like that. Instead of having to hit them, and then that's when the ability activates. Okay, you know what I mean. And then same thing for the blast, also damage received up. So yeah, nothing too crazy, but it's still a very... Okay, on blast it's actually on hit. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why it's on hit here, but on activation here. Anyways, special move. So on activation, get 50% damage to special move. That's actually a lot more than like most characters, I think. Okay, what is this? Also destroy all special move arts in hand? So he's gonna have like multiple special moves in his hand at the same time. What? Okay, we're gonna have to see that in a second. Probably in the unique abilities and stuff. And then activate a number of the following effects at random, equal to the number of arts destroyed. +1. What? Okay, this is really weird. And then the same effect cannot be activated multiple times. Okay. So on special move arts hit, faint chance 100%. On cancel, what? What is this? Okay, and then damage guard penetration, limit enemy healing. Okay, so it's gonna be one of these effects at random equal to the amount of marks this. Huh. Okay, I think what it is like based on the amount of special moves that you have, it'll activate. Okay, so for example, if you just use a blue card without any other ones in your hand, it probably will only activate one of these, but for each one that you have, it'll activate like if you have 2 blue cards, it'll activate 2 random effects, basically. I think that's what if I'm understanding that right. That is just having a special move that can inflict faint guaranteed is just, I mean, I guess it is at random still, but yeah, okay, that's gonna be scary, dude. And then, okay, special, the green card. Okay, yeah, this is probably how you get a bunch of blue cards in your hand. So you get a blue card by using the green card, and then you draw another card. You get key. You get +10 to your unique gauge, some extra damage, some extra cover null, and then protect hand. Okay, so basically the protect hand to make sure that you don't get your blue cards destroyed before you can even use it, and for the random effects, I'm guessing. And then just pretty standard stuff, nothing too crazy. And then yeah, he does have an ultimate, that's right. So okay, supreme damage, is that more than like, what does that do more than usual? What, like I know like in Dokkan there's different damage multipliers. I don't know if like in Legends there's like that big of a difference between like the multipliers and stuff like that, like supreme versus like intense damage or something. I don't know. But okay, ultimate damage 50%, nullify endurance obviously, and then on hit seal all enemy main abilities for 5 counts, and then all enemy sub count +3. That's gonna be really annoying hitting this ultimate. But yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be pretty useful with like just throwing out the ultimate just to like switch up the flow of battle a bit. Just like if you're in a tough spot and when you pop this will probably like help you take back the advantage of the match. Okay, so main ability, draw a card, and then your ultimate as well, and then get some health back, get some key, and then okay, overdrive gauge charge rate, not overdrive gauge straight up, but the charge rate up. Okay, and then also cancel attribute downgrades in abnormal conditions. Okay, yeah. Not too much on the main ability, actually, but yeah, pretty standard, pretty good, pretty alright. Just, yeah. And then, okay, starter ability. 340% damage, 290 to damage guard. Okay. And then, draw speed, just standard. And then, okay. Yeah, nullify attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions up to 3 times. So, okay, they can. So basically, you can't really debuff them for like the first 3 times. Okay, that's pretty good. And he also has endurance. Okay, and just straight up ally damage. Okay, so he just has built-in support. Okay. Battlefield entry, draw a card if he has 3 or fewer. Okay, pretty standard. Health, key, nullify, cover changes, destroy an enemy card. Okay, this is gonna be kind of annoying. And then also all enemy draw speed -1. Okay. Pretty standard. Pretty standard. I feel like I'm just kind of saying the same thing over and over again. My apologies. But I mean, yeah, definitely all pretty solid so far. And then when on battlefield, on area cover change, or not cover change, just area change, or when enemy switches. Okay. So draw another card. He has a lot of ways to draw cards, it seems. And then also damage and getting lowering enemy key. Okay. So yeah, gonna be stacking up a good amount of damage from this, I think. Yeah, on area change and then or okay, so yeah, you're gonna be stacking up damage as your opponent, you know, switches in, or you or your opponent does an area change. Okay. I think this is good. That's pretty good. And also, if at element disadvantage, this is probably the most interesting thing about it, that you can actually switch into the light element, which makes sense, since, you know, Shallet is the fusion of Giblet and Shallet, so I don't know why I said Giblet first, like he's the main character or something. Anyways, okay, so 5 counts of being, you know, basically true type neutral, because, you know, light is type neutral against everything. And then it also makes you type neutral. Basically, if you really think about it, this is basically just a fancier way of having type neutral. So it's not really like that insane. It's just, you know, I guess it's just like appropriate for Shallet to have that. And also damage inflicted if you're at element disadvantage. Okay. But yeah, it just helps. The way that this is looking is you're basically wanting to have your enemy switch, and then you're gonna destroy them because you're gonna be type neutral, and then you're also gonna stack up a bunch of damage. Okay. And then when on battlefield, an enemy does a vanish step. Okay. You get some key, and then you also seal their special arts, which is the green card. So okay. That's interesting. I'm not really imagining how good that's gonna be, but I mean, it does help. And when not defeated and enemy, okay, so basically when an enemy does like a rising rush or an ultimate, and then it doesn't matter if he's on standby or on the battlefield, just as long as he's, you know, alive. Okay, so health restoration 100%. So you get whatever health you're restoring, you're getting double that. Okay, that's pretty good. And then obviously minus sub counts, and then cancel enemy buff effects 2 times. Okay. Yeah, pretty good for being able to tank a rising rush or an ultimate. Yeah. And then when not defeated, if at an enemy, or if at an element disadvantage, my bad, and enemy activates a special move, you know, ultimate, rising rush, and everything, also switches to light element. Okay. And yeah, that's gonna be able to, you know, you're gonna be tanking these attacks for type neutral. I don't know why. I guess they separated it because it also activates on special move here, when up here it only activates on ults or rising rush. Okay, that makes sense. And then cover change against strikes, pretty standard. Okay. Key consumption gauge. So this is like, I think this is like Trunks's. So basically, the more you use key, is that what it is? Charges moderately on ally arts use according to key consume. Yeah. So every time you use key, it doesn't matter how, or I guess technically on arts use. So yeah. So on arts use, by the amount of ki that you consume, you're gonna charge up the unique gauge, and it already starts at 25% charge. Okay. And then, okay, let's see. How does it work? How does it work? With at least 25% unique gauge on Striker Blast, you draw a green card. So, okay, so let me just keep going. Let me just keep going. I'll share my thoughts after. Okay, and then damage up to 60%. Draw speed +1. Oh, okay, no, but it's only one time. It's only one time. So this will stack, but this is only going to be a one-time thing, basically. Okay. So you have to switch out if you want to get this to activate again. Okay. And then with at least 25% to your unique gauge when hit by an enemy arts 2 times, and then activation reset on switch. You're getting health back, you're getting some damage guard, and then minus sub counts, minus enemy ki. Okay. So what I wanted to say was the way that this is looking is you charge up your unique gauge, you get your green card, you're gonna draw a blue card off of it, and then you're gonna have, you know, multiple blue cards in your hand. You're gonna be able to get the random effects, and then yeah, you're gonna destroy your opponent as soon as you're able to land a blue card, basically. And then here, this is really good, you know, disrupt and defensive abilities right here, just restoring health, getting damage guard, then yeah, that seems pretty good to me. And then finally, we have the legend action. So it's in the low area. So, okay. And then on activation, you get ki back, and then you get your unique gauge increase. Okay, that's going to be important then. So you're definitely going to want to do the legend action so you can get your unique gauge going, stack up, get your damage buffs, get your draw speed, get the green card so you could get your blue cards going. Yeah, okay. He seems really good. He seems pretty good. He has a bit of a wacky, not wacky. This is definitely a more unique kit than like Gohan and Trunks, I think. But like, yeah, this is definitely a more gimmicky kit, is what I wanted to say. With like the blue card gimmick, and then the unique gauge. Yeah. But overall, he does seem pretty good. I think he's gonna look the best, definitely next to Gogeta, so finally a Gogeta buff. Although he's green, and there's quite a few purples now, I guess, kind of running around, or there's going to be, rather, with the future Gohan and Trunks, you know, them being red and purple, and also Legend Vegeto's actually still running around, kind of. So, well, I mean, he is gonna have the light element stuff. So actually, he shouldn't have struggled too much against element disadvantages. Okay, yeah, he's looking pretty good. Nothing screams like he's super broken, at least from what I'm seeing. Well, except for the blue card. The blue card is pretty broken, I think. But, I mean, it does require a bit of setup. So, honestly, pretty good overall for both characters, actually. So, yeah, I think that pretty much does it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about, you know, game originals, you know, Legend Trunks and Gohan and Legend Shallet. It just still feels really weird, you know, Legend Shallet